From the Berkshires to the Sound, from wherever you live in MLB America, this is Inside the Parker. You give us 22 minutes and we'll give you the scoop on Major League Baseball. Now, here's Baseball Hall of Fame voter number 57.
You have another hot take.
Will not NOT make the playoffs.
Shohei me the money.
Rob Parker.
Come on! I've been covering Major League Baseball for almost 40 years now. In New York, in Cincinnati, in Detroit, in LA. I love this game. Let's go! Welcome into the podcast, and I'm your host, Rob Parker. And what a show we have for you today. Before we even get started, remember, press this button, the subscribe button, so that you're always here, always up to date with all the best coverage of Major League Baseball. As you know, I've been covering baseball since 1986. I love the sport. This is the place for your baseball fix. Welcome into the podcast. I'm your host, Rob Parker, and what a show we have for you today on Inside the Parker. Coming up, we'll talk with former Major League infielder and outfielder Jerry Hairston Jr., also, Detroit Tigers radio color analyst Bobby Scales also drops in. That plus foul or fair. Let's go.
Batter up. To lead off, it's getting robbed.
And keep them up.
Rob's hot take on the three biggest stories in Major League Baseball. Number one.
I know there's a long way to go in the baseball season. It's a marathon and it's not a sprint. But there's no way you can look at the Padres start through the first 19 games and not think that something special is going on. 12-1 at home and 15-4 coming into Thursday. What a start. And let's not forget about last year. I know they choked. They were up 3-1. They were supposed to go to the World Series, not the Dodgers. You remember that, right? And then for whatever reason, they couldn't score another run. They scuffled 3 games, lost, and the Dodgers went on to, of course, the World Series and beat the Yankees. But this is a good team. This is not a fluke. I'm not. If you watch the first podcast this season, I picked the Padres to go to the World Series. I know on paper the Dodgers are a better team. But take a close look at this Padres team. 12-1 at home, 15-4 to start the season through 19 games. This is a good team. They have a shot. We're going to have a race. And we haven't even mentioned the San Francisco Giants, who are mollywopping people, scoring 10, 11 runs like it's going out of style. Who would have thought that the NL West, with this dominant Dodger team, would have 2 other teams right there? Here we are, as we get closer to the first month of the season being over. The Padres, follow them. They're good.
Number two.
It's only fitting that Aaron Judge was named Team USA captain for the upcoming WBC, the World Baseball Classic, in 2026. Aaron Judge has been phenomenal. The Yankee slugger has won 2 of the last 3 American League MVPs. Last year, 2024, he won it unanimously, and he continues this year in 2025 to bash the baseball. We know how great Shohei Otani is and what he's done for baseball, but as far as an American player, Aaron Judge is it. He is the face of baseball. Look at his stats. There was a recent stat, the first almost 1,000 games that Babe Ruth and Aaron Judge played for the Yankees with identical home run totals. That's crazy that anybody would have identical home run totals with the Babe in the same amount of games. And actually, Aaron Judge did it in less at-bats, which is even more impressive. But Aaron Judge is a great representation for the United States and baseball. What can you say? There's nothing bad about him. He's a great guy, great smile, home run hitter. You know, that's what baseball fans love. So, of course, baseball made the right choice. It used to be Mike Trout. Even Mike Trout said he's the guy. It makes sense. What a great move by Team USA.
Number 3.
Atlanta Braves pitcher Spencer Strider became the fastest pitcher to record 500 strikeouts in Major League history.
That is strikeout number 500 of the young career of Spencer Strider, his fifth today.
He did it in just 334 innings. The 26-year-old right-hander missed last season to injury, but he came back this season. And of course, the Atlanta Braves need him in their rotation. They're off to a bad start, but Strider is one of those bright spots they have, and a guy that they hope will be in their rotation for years to come. But that's incredible when you think about how long baseball's been around. And here he is, Spencer Strider, the fastest to 500 strikeouts. Amazing.
Here comes the big interview. Listen and learn.
Oh, it's so good.
Now let's welcome in Jerry Hairston Jr. Of course, he played 16 big league seasons, one of the most versatile guys in baseball, played every position except catcher and pitcher in the big leagues. We know he started with the Dodgers, won a World Series in 2009 with the Yankees, and now is an analyst for Sportsnet LA. Jerry, welcome into the podcast. How are you?
Doing great, Rob. How you doing, man? Always great to see you.
No doubt. Great to talk to you. And let's just get started on this Dodger team. We know on paper, best team in baseball. And they've won a lot of games, and no one's saying that the sky is falling. But if I would have told you that they would be in third place at any point during this season, I don't think anybody would believe that. And I know it's early, but there's competition in the West.
There's competition in the West. I think it's great for baseball. You know, credit to the San Diego Padres, Arizona Diamondbacks, San Francisco Giants. They put really good teams together. Buster Posey, you know, a throwback player, a player I played against. He's mixing a little bit of the analytics, but with the old school style of playing, and they have benefited from it. They're really playing great baseball. Padres, we knew they were talented. You know, the Padres were one game away last year from eliminating the Dodgers. So trust me, here in LA, we know how good the Padres are, and the D-backs have as good a starting rotation there is in the big leagues. So they've always been good. So credit to those teams, organizations, putting really good teams together.
Let's talk about Mookie Betts and the illness in Japan, couldn't play, and still somehow got out there, made it to opening day. And even though with the weight loss, had some big hits or whatnot, just talk about Mookie and going through what he went through.
Well, listen, obviously Mookie Betts is a game-changing type of player. I know he had a little bit of a stomach bug. We've all had those stomach bugs. And, you know, sometimes you lose, 10 pounds. Sometimes you lose 15. For Mookie Betts, it couldn't happen at a worse time. But it's one of those things where he wanted to play so bad. He felt a lot better. They were very optimistic that he would get back on the field, which he did. And now he's off to a great start. So Mookie Betts making that transition, in my opinion, the best right fielder in the game. But, to save his legs a little bit. And also, we always talk about athletes having that competitive drive. He wants to prove he came up as an infielder. He wants to prove that he can be a great shortstop. And so far, he has looked great. Now, last year, he was learning on the fly, and he had a little bit of hiccups, but he had an entire offseason to really get himself prepared to play shortstop. And Rob, he has looked really good at shortstop. And we know his hitting prowess. He's as good as it gets at the plate. So he's been fun to watch so far.
Former Major League infielder, outfielder Jerry Hairston Jr. joining us here on Inside the Parker. Let's not forget the elephant in the room, Shohei Otani. And, of course, year number 2 with the Dodgers. Year number 1 couldn't have been better. 50-50, a World Series championship and whatnot. Expectations, can he perform the same, or do we expect a little drop, not fall off the cliff or anything, but can he repeat 50-50?
Here's the thing, Rob, I'll play with a guy named Albert Bell. He gets on me all the time. Albert Bell also did 50-50, but he did it a different way. 50 home runs, 50 doubles. Obviously, Shohei Otani did 50-50, 50 home runs, 50 stolen bases. I hope there's a drop-off in the stolen base department. I don't think anybody here with the Dodgers would want him to try to steal 50 bases, especially now that he's going to be pitching probably the next month or so, getting ready for the second half of the season, making sure he's fresh. So I wouldn't put him past him going over the 50 homer mark. This kid is incredibly talented. But as far as 50 stolen bases, I think they've kind of shut him down a little bit. He can steal some bases here and there when we need it, but they don't want him running like he did last year.
He had a bad stolen base attempt in the game in Washington, I think it was, where Mookie was up.
Down 3.
Yeah, you know what I mean? There were two guys on. Mookie was up, and he wound up being the third out at second base on just a play that, I know he had had a consecutive steal streak, but there's times to run, Jerry. You know this. There are times not to run. That was just a bad play because you have to make it.
One of those things where, and you're exactly right, Rob, and he admitted it. He had messed up right there. He's the guy always trying to make things happen. He was trying to get in scoring position for Mookie Betts, but you're right. Down 3 runs, let Mookie Betts swing the bat. But you know what? I love our star players being aggressive. Now, was that play overly aggressive? Yes, it was overly aggressive. But the reason why they're superstar players is because they do unique things. Guys like Mookie Betts, Freddie Freeman, and Shohei Otani. So, he pushed the envelope a little bit, and he learned from that, and he has moved on. But you're right, man. He is a game-changing player. But in that situation, he probably should have stand pat and let Mookie swing the bat.
You mentioned pitching and Otani returning to the mound. What's stronger for the Dodgers? Is it their rotation or their bullpen? Because they added a lot of pieces this past offseason. Their bullpen's pretty impressive.
Their bullpen has been impressive so far, and we needed that bullpen. Our starting rotation has been plagued a little bit so far by injury. We lost Blake Snell. He's on the IL right now. Hopefully he comes back. We've had a hard time eating up innings from the starting staff, so hopefully that changes. But our bullpen has been outstanding. That really carried us last year to a World Series championship. Hopefully our starters will start going deeper in the ball game to make sure our bullpen is fresh for the rest of the season.
And I would be remiss if I didn't just ask you, obviously you be coming up as a Dodger, and just we had Jackie Robinson Day on April 15th, 1947, when he broke the color barrier. And the Dodgers, I always give the Dodgers credit. I mean, no organization has pushed the Jackie Robinson legacy and made sure that we don't forget. And, a lot of people love the Dodgers for that they were the organization that had an open mind and made a dramatic change in the game of baseball when he broke the color barrier. What does it mean for you that Jackie Robinson played for the Dodgers like you did?
It means so much to me. And Rob, as you know, that I come from a family. My grandfather played in the Negro Leagues. And because of Jackie Robinson, he was able to play in the big leagues as well. My grandfather, Sam Hairston, was the 9th black player to play in the major leagues. And because of that, my dad, my uncle, my brother Scott as well, all of us got a chance to play. But his stepping on the field took tremendous courage. But the way he carried himself on the field and off the field allowed others to thrive in a variety of different fields. Rob, you have thrived in this game of baseball, really in the sports world, as a writer, journalist, TV personality, because of Jackie's efforts. And so many people that have come after Jackie, allowing us to step on their shoulders and thrive. So we owe so much to Jackie Robinson, not just in the baseball world, not just in the sports world, but really throughout this whole country.
No doubt. He is an American hero without question, and changed this country forever. Always a pleasure. Jerry Hairston Jr. joining us here on Inside the Parker. Thanks for your insight, Jerry. We'll see you soon out at the ballpark.
Sounds good. Always good to see you, Rob.
In case you missed Rob Parker on the MLB Network, here's his latest appearance on MLB Now.
Rob Parker's in the Showdown, and just to give people a little background, Rob's on every week, and Rob sends in topics that he would like to discuss, and we take that very seriously. And I'm stunned, Rob. We're already in the I told you so part of the season, April 15th, and you're telling me so. So go ahead. What did you tell me, and what should I learn from your brilliance?
BK, I was trying to warn you. I told you earlier in the season, I know it's still early, but can we officially call Juan Soto Juan So-So? Because I told you, BK, Juan So-So.
He's not exactly strong. I know where you're going. He's not, all right, he's not tearing it up. For those who don't know, Rob, you had the gumption to come out and say Juan Soto will struggle year one in his Mets deal, which has happened to a lot of Mets, but I said it will not happen to Soto. He's not torn it up, but Rob, he's got a 400 on base. He's doing fine. He's got a 400 on base.
But you got to admit, BK, 250, 2 home runs, 6 RBI, and he himself in the newspaper in New York this week said that he misses Aaron Judge hitting behind him. I mean, like, he understands. Let's be honest.
Pete Alonso's
Aaron
not having a
Judge
problem.
In the lineup. Yankee Stadium, a great hitter's park for him as well, right?
Yeah.
He had his best season ever. I mean, there's a lot of different factors there. There's a big difference between Queens and the Bronx, and it's not just taking the bridge over to get to one of them.
Sorry, so what's the difference then? Enlighten it. You're from Queens. What's the difference?
It's just that but when you play with the Yankees, there's a difference. And when you come to the Mets, I just think people will pitch to you differently, will not allow you to be the one to beat them. And that's the hard part. And I think that's why, even going back to George Foster, who hit 50 home runs for the Reds, came to the Mets. And
he was a disaster. Yeah, there's a lot of Met disasters year one, right? Even Carlos Beltran was terrible. Roberto Alomar came off a great season, not good with the Mets. However, he's got a 400 on base, right? He's slugging. He just started to hit home runs. His plate selection is still state of the art, so he's still quite good. He has not exploded yet, but he's there. But I'll give you credit. He did not come out of the gate the way he did with the Yankees. All right, I'll give you that.
All right, I'll take that right now.
And you're the only one. Yeah, you're the only one saying Juan Soto, which takes chutzpah on your case. All right, Ellie De La Cruz was my MVP candidate. You want to dump on De La Cruz again? Go ahead.
Yes, he's batting 238, and he's striking out still. 20
it's
strikeouts
April 15th, Rob. It's April 15th. I know. I'll say this. He was tearing it up in spring training, and he did not come out of the gate strong. I'll give you that, but it's way too early, Rob.
He had the one big game with the 2 home runs. He has a total of 3. The Reds are scuffling. All I'm saying is, for him to win the MVP, he's got to be better than what he's come out of the gate. And there's already players who are tearing it up. I just think it's going to be difficult. And if he doesn't cut down on the strikeouts, he's not going to win an MVP. And so far, he's still striking out. His last game, he had 3 Ks.
It's a fair point. You picked on one game. One game, he had 3 Ks. All right, it was one game. But, all right. Fair enough. All right, here's another one. Best team in Southern California. Go ahead. Who's your best team in Southern California?
It's the Los Angeles Angels. I know the Dodgers have 12 wins and people want to discount the Angels, but have you watched? They are fun. What a good team that they have put together right now. And you know what? Mike Trout is healthy. 6 home runs, 14 RBIs, and this kid, Kyron Paris at second base. 5 home runs already, 5 steals. I mean, I love what the Angels, 9 wins leading the AL West. Am I saying they're going to the World Series? No. But they are a surprise, and I like what I'm watching.
They are. You're not completely wrong. How sustainable? I mean, I love them, too, and I love Logan O'Hoppe, but, I mean, you can't go the whole season without drawing a single walk. Like, you're not going to hit 400 all year. We're very early. Good for them. But we're very early, and, will Trout finish a season? That remains to be seen as well.
No doubt about it. I mean, there's a long way to go, but they could be 2-14 and the season be over, as we've seen years gone by. The idea that they have 9 wins so early in the season and Trout looks like the old Trout is great news for them because he's the leader.
I hate to pump the brakes on your Mike Trout train, to use your phrase that I love now. Pump the brake. He's not Mike Trout from years back. He's a version of Mike Trout. He's not Mike Trout. All right, Jackie Robinson Day. I know you have kept on making a difference. MLBbro.com highlights black ball players. Tell us about that.
You know what? This is year 5 of MLBbro.com. Jamoke Gamble, J.R. Gamble, and Mark Gray and I, we started this 5 years ago. And our vision was just to try to reinvigorate the black community with Major League Baseball and cover some of the black players that maybe don't get, BK, as much coverage, and the Trent Grishams, people like that, who don't get all the coverage and whatnot, and tell their stories and their journeys. And so far, I've been pleasantly surprised at the reception that we've gotten. And we've gone from 14 staffers in 2021 to 70, BK. We have 70.
That's tremendous. MLBbro.com. People can face it there. Also, I know you want to bring up a guy who was instrumental in getting Jackie Robinson to break through in the major leagues, was a huge supporter, a big-time writer at the time, Wendell Smith. Tell us about Wendell Smith.
Let me say this about Wendell Smith, and this is the reason I'm a proud card-carrier member of the BBWA. BK, he was approved for his card in 1947, which is 20 years prior to civil rights. And you know what the temperature was in this country for this organization to give Wendell Smith a baseball writer's card back in 1947. Incredible. And this man was out there championing in Jackie Robinson and trying to make the difference to get him in the major leagues. And he's a big part of baseball history and the story as well. So I would love to honor Wendell Smith on this day as well. Let's not forget, was a Jackie Robinson day. Yeah.
Also, by the way, like he's operating in a difficult situation as well as he's moving through life. Also, I threw up there, Rob. Like again, it's refreshing. It's surprising. It's 1962, first year on the Hall of Fame ballot. I just showed this. Bob Feller, Jackie Robinson. You had Lou Boudreau, Ducky Medwick, Luke Appling, not getting 75%. There was a lack of racism with the baseball writers voting into the Hall of Fame. Put Jackie Robinson in right away, year one.
I agree. And think about this. Jackie Robinson being Rookie of the Year in 1947.
Right.
With basically one black writer, right, probably able to vote, and all white writers, and Jackie Robinson won. And back then, there was just, one Rookie of the Year, and that was it. And Jackie won it.
Good stuff. Rob, thank you so much. MLBbro.com. Find out much more there. Rob's doing great work. Rob, great having you on the show. Thank you so much.
Always, BK. And remember, I told you Juan Soso. That's going to hold out for a few months.
Yeah, the Post and the Daily News are like, how did we not think of this? Juan Soso. All right. It's not happening, Rob, but thank you.
When Rob was a newspaper columnist, he lived by this motto: if I'm writing, I'm ripping. Let's bring in a writer or broadcaster, old or new.
Now let's welcome into the podcast Detroit Tigers radio color analyst, Bobby Scales. And Bobby, welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Oh, I'm fantastic, Rob. Always a pleasure to be on with you.
No doubt. I appreciate it. Bobby's been doing radio for the Tigers for the last 3 seasons. And the Tigers had a great year last year, the postseason run, and here we are, 2025. And let's start there with expectations for this team. What are they?
Well, it was interesting after the postseason run. The Cleveland got the Tigers in 5 games last year. Went down to Houston, won a playoff series, both games on the road, best 2 of 3. At the end of the year press conference, one of the things that I thought was very interesting is that AJ Hinch himself said that this was the floor. This is now the new floor. This is the expectation. So I think that was pretty succinct in what he said. This is the expectation. So the playoffs are the expectation for this Tiger ball club. And obviously the easiest path to doing that, I say easy, as if winning 1 baseball game in a major league season is easy, but the easiest path to do that is winning the division. So I don't know that AJ or Scott Harris has said that per se, but if this indeed is the floor, getting to the playoffs, the easiest path is to win the division, and that's the goal.
Tigers off to a good start, won 10 of their first 17 games, and on Friday opened up a 3-game series at Comerica Park against the Kansas City Royals. Let's talk about the pitching. Tarek Skubal, of course, American League Cy Young last year, had a couple of bumpy starts, but has gotten it together. Just talk about him and trying to duplicate what he did last year. I don't know if you could really do that, but as close as possible.
Yeah, and you're right, Rob. A couple starts early, not even in truth, if you go back through those starts with a fine-tooth comb, you're talking about 1 or 2 pitches here and there. And especially the Dodger start, 1 or 2 pitches, he, hung the changeup to Teoscar in the first pitch. He jumped all over it for the homer that got him out of the ball game. And then in Seattle, he was kind of the victim of some poor luck. He had a couple, they didn't go as errors, but they were misplays behind him. And then Dylan Moore beat him with a backside homer, a opposite field homer on a hanging slider away. And Dylan Moore hasn't been known for being a power hitter. So, after that, it's been vintage Tarek Skubal. Can you duplicate the Triple Crown from last year, leading the league in wins, strikeouts, and ERA? Maybe, but it's gonna be an unbelievable feat to do that. So I definitely think he is doing exactly what he needs to do. He's back on. His last few starts have been vintage Scooble. So there's no concern or worry about him at all. As far as the rest of the guys go, Jack Flaherty off to a nice start, throwing the ball well. Casey Mize has been a very pleasant surprise for this Tigers team. You didn't exactly know, based on his injury history and the way he's pitched in previous years, what you were going to get. Worked on a number of things. He really throws 3 different types of sliders. One he really gets for a strike. One he can get some swing and miss in the zone, and a third one that's a little bit bigger. He gets swing and miss, strike the ball, swing and miss below the zone with. But his arsenal, he's throwing the ball a little bit harder. The split is a little bit harder. It's as nasty as I've seen in the last 3 years too. And then you've got the young fella Jackson Jobe, phenomenal stuff. If you ask some of the guys on the staff, they think he has the best stuff of them all, Scooble included, and that's saying a lot. He just has to learn how to pitch at the major league level. Nothing left for him to prove at the minor league level. Made the rotation out of spring training and deserved to be there. And then a guy that I personally think is he kind of gets lost in the shuffle, but he was really good before he got hurt last year, is a kid out of Georgia named Reese Olson. He's unheralded, but it's a 4-pitch mix. When he has his mix correct, it's really good. It's really good. When he gets a little too slider heavy, things get out of whack for him. But when his mix is correct, his stuff plays anywhere on any team in Major League Baseball. He was fantastic last year. You've seen this enough, Rob, in your careers, that you have one guy on the staff that is going to be, for whatever reason, the team doesn't score runs when he pitches. Well, Reese Olson was sitting at like 1-8 last year with like a 2.8 at one point, and then got some run support and then pitched really well and then ended up getting hurt and missed the majority of the rest of the season. But those 5 starters have done a tremendous job.
Our guest is Bobby Scales, Detroit Tigers radio color analyst. Want to talk about the Tigers going out, getting Gleyber Torres, a free agent, signed, play second base. Just about Gleyber fitting in with the Tigers.
Well, he fits in. For one thing, he's a proven right-handed bat. If you look at how the Tigers are put together offensively in their position player core, they are very left-handed. And 2 things needed to happen. They needed to get some right-handed thump, and they needed to see the resurgence of a player in Spencer Torkelson that we've seen thus far this year. And they did both. Scott Harris targeted Gleyber Torres. Obviously, they were in the Bregman sweepstakes. Didn't come up with Bregman. He chose to go to Boston, as we all know. But Gleyber Torres is a proven right-handed bat in this league. And, are there some defensive deficiencies? Yes. Are they going to get better under, Joey Cora and the work that he's going to do on the infield? I think so. If he can get to an average, major league average second baseman, grade out as average, I think that'll be a tremendous improvement. But also, what you're going to get with the bat, and that's what really Scott Harris and Jeff Greenberg and the rest of the Tiger Brain Trust were buying. They knew that coming in, and so he's fit in well. And you talk to the guys in the clubhouse, they just say Gleyber Torres is a baseball player and he's a pro. And thus far, that's what you've seen, and that's what you've gotten from Gleyber Torres. Nothing should change this year.
All right, let's thank, of course, Bobby Scales, Detroit Tigers radio color analyst. Bobby, thanks for joining Inside the Parker, my man. We'll see you out of the ballpark, close to you soon.
Hope so. Come see me.
Now, here's the best from MLBbro.com.
Yo, this is Jalen for MLBbro.com. I'm spitting straight facts. For 20 seasons, Major League Baseball has honored the legacy of one of, if not the greatest and most influential athlete the world has ever seen, Mr. Jackie Robinson. Robinson not only changed baseball, but sports forever when he broke the game's color barrier in 1947, leading to the integration of all American professional sports by 1958. And without Jackie Robinson, guys like Mookie Betts, Marcus Semien, or Marcus Stroman wouldn't be the household names they are today. For 77 years, African Americans have been amongst some of the biggest names the game has ever seen, whether that be Hall of Famers like Bob Gibson or Willie Mays, Reggie Jackson, Ernie Banks, Hank Aaron, Ozzie Smith, or Ken Griffey Jr., or even the next generation of black stars carving out their own legacy right now like C.J. Abrams, Lawrence Butler, or Jazz Chisholm. They all owe Jackie Robinson a thank you and a salute, and that includes our team at MLBbro.com, because without 42, we wouldn't love this game the way we do. I'm Jalen for MLBbro.com, and I'm spitting straight facts.
MLBbro.com, covering black and brown major leaguers.
That ball is.
It was a big week in the big leagues.
Who's up? Who's up?
I don't believe it! My, oh my!
Is it foul or is it fair? And now, from MLBbro.com, here's J.R. Gamble.
JR, is it foul or fair to say that pitcher Clayton Kershaw coming back for the Dodgers will have a huge impact on their race for back-to-back World Series championships?
Fair. Considering the plan was for Kershaw to lightly thread through 2 innings, Rob, but because he was tossing so effectively, they stretched the 37-year-old in his 18th MLB season to a 3rd inning. That's a great sign. He threw 30 pitches, and 22 of them were for strikes. Let's be honest. The Dodgers aren't counting on their old ace to log major innings and lead the staff. Those days are basically behind him. They already have a plaque waiting for the great 2-time World Series champ in Cooperstown. But he also has a lot to play for, does Kershaw. A 3rd World Series, after all of the talk about how he couldn't win the big game, to wrap up his statistically dominant career with 3 rings would be crazy work, wouldn't it? Kershaw also just 32 strikes short of the magical 3,000 K mark. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, it's been more than 7 months since Kershaw last toted the mound in August of 2024. He had to watch the Dodgers' great championship run on the bench. So that's more motivation for a guy who knows he's coming to the end of the road and his body is breaking down. Kershaw is expected to return no earlier than May. And even then, he isn't expected to be immediately activated. They're going to take some time. So if he's healthy, the Dodgers have another luxury arm down the stretch. And this season, you know it's all about the playoffs with Dave Roberts and the squad. And wouldn't it be something if a rested Clayton Kershaw was available to hop in that time machine, come back August through October, get some clutch outs, or even make a start in the clutch? Yeah, the rich get richer, with the Dodgers stumbling in 3rd place after an 8-0 start, and now trying to scrape back above the Padres. They might want Kershaw back sooner rather than later.
Make way for weekend wagers.
Yo, it's Sean Bo. Fire up those bed naps. Let's go. Last week was a little up, a little down. We got that win on Friday with the Giants with those plus money dogs, and then took the L against the Yankees on Saturday. But hey, let's go 2-0 this week. Get that green. And what better way to do it than behind those Sacramento A's? Yes, we're taking the dogs again on Friday. JT Ginn is 1-0 so far in the year with a 1.69 ERA. And with the league leading home run hitter and Soderstrom behind them, we think they could spoil that home game against those Milwaukee Brewers. For Saturday, we head to Queens, New York. Go ahead and take the New York Mets and Cody Senga -1.5 on the run line. They should do work against the St. Louis Cardinals, who seem to be floundering this.
Hi, I'm Rob Parker, the founder and editor of MLBbro.com, where we cover black and brown major leaguers. 75% of the content will be about the current black and brown stars in Major League Baseball. The other 25%, we'll take a look back at some of the great black players. On the site, there'll be a ton of great written stories and videos and features.
MLB Bro, because you need to know.
MLB fans, when it comes to Major League Baseball, no one covers it better than the Odd Couple.
Facts. I am the baseball king.
First, second, third, and home.
We're leading shows with baseball. Game over. They don't watch it. They don't know the game.
All in one place.
Let's go!
Right here on Fox Sports Radio.
I love baseball. In the words of New York TV legend, the late Bill Jorgensen,
Thanking you for your time this time. Until next time, Rob Parker, out.
He can't get it. This could be an inside to Parker.
See you next week. Same bat time, same bat station.